And yet we've got to overcome that. We've got to live with this subtle level of discomfort. And one top tip here is that it's that soft palate there. That soft palate is engaged or is used when you close off your airway. So if you try and breathe out, you do what's called the Valsalva maneuver, and you try and breathe out against a closed palate. So I close off my palate. So what I'm doing here is the soft palate is coming across to the back of the nasopharynx. And when the soft palate comes over to the back of the nasopharynx, that closes my airway. Now, as you push your tongue properly up onto the back of the soft palate, it's very close. The feeling you're going to have in your mouth is very, very subtly different. So if you move between closing the soft palate and then opening it, but still having the tongue, the back third of the tongue up there, the posterior third of the tongue up there, then you close your palate and you go back. And if you flip between these two, that's a really good way of feeling and getting to understand the back section of your throat, your nasopharynx to oropharynx, this sort of separation area. Now, I wonder, interesting, because remember, we program ourselves. So I wonder if the innovation of this soft palate has been affected by the architecture. And the amount of soft palate being pulled back onto the back of the pharynx, onto the nasopharynx. So the amount of this section, so it's divided here into section 1, section 2, section 3 and section 4. So I would imagine in the real anterior rotators and the really upswung people who've got all of this horizontal growth, that when they go to do the Valsalva maneuver and close their airway, it's only the very tip of the soft palate that's really innovated to go back. The rest is already fairly good. And yet, when you've really downswung people, where this whole section is concertinaed back, like a car that's been crushed in a road accident, then you probably have even the section 3 here is being innovated to close the airway, because section 2 and section 1, well, they're hanging down. They can't be innovated, or they would close the airway in a normal situation. So in a way, you've got to re-educate your nervous innovation to your airway. Now, I don't know of many sections of your body under conscious innovation, where you affect them, that are more important for life and breathing than this section. So you're talking about a really vital section of your body. You're talking about hard work in educating this. However, changing the direction of craniofacial growth, overcoming craniofacial dystrophy, it's vital you do both of those things. We can't just have the building up of the muscles, because if you build those muscles up greatly and you don't change your tongue position, you can end up getting more jaw joint problems and other things. It's vitally important to get your tongue up on the roof of your mouth at the same time. These two things must go in unison together. Don't do one greatly without the other. Don't just sit there chewing lots of chewing gum, building the muscles, building the muscles, building the muscles, without also working on getting the tongue up, in particular that posterior third, because that's vital. And it's almost more important because it's more difficult. It's hard work, it's hard effort, and I wish you well.